So today's project, I want to add some signalling to the mill layout, and I'm going to be using a Dapol motorised signal, and to connect to the DCC, there's TrainTech dedicated one-touch dual Dapol Semaphore signal controller, which hopefully should make this a breeze. So before I drill holes and get too involved, I just want to check everything works. So first thing, let's have a look at the signal, which I have to say is just absolutely beautiful. So let's unpack the wires. 4 wires come out of it, red and black and 2 yellow. And in the instructions, if you're not using DCC, red and black connect to a 16 volt AC supply, and then the yellow wires are momentary, which trigger the motor to move. But in our case, we're using TrainTech, which should do everything for us. So according to the instructions in here, DCC track supply goes in there, red and black go in the middle, and we can run 2 signals. So yellow's on one side and yellow's on the other side for the other one. So, like that. Let's see if it works. So an early job is just to prepare the wires a little bit. So some wire strippers, just bearing a little bit more wire. Personally, I just like to fold these over to get a better connection. And according to my wiring diagram, red and black go in these contacts here. I'll put them the same way as it says on the says in the diagram, red black. Shouldn't make a difference. They should be non-polarised. And then the yellows will be a momentary bit of power to make the motor move, in theory. Right, so double checking DCC track, signal 1 yellows, red and black. That should be good to go. Let's move over to the layout and make it work. Right, let's just test everything works on the bench before committing to the layout. So I'm just temporarily going to use crop clips to connect power from the track on my layout to the controller, and the controller's got a nice red LED, and there's a little LED red showing on the signal. Looks absolutely beautiful. So following the instructions here, we're going to follow the examples and use address 60 for signal 1. So we press the learn button, and the red LED flashes as per the instructions. And now what we need to do is we need to send a turnout command on the accessory ID that we want the controller to learn. So on my NCE system, I press select accessory, It then asks for accessory number, so we go 60, enter, and then it says 1 for on, 2 for off, and 1 for normal, 2 for reverse, or whatever. So I'm going to go 1, and little red LED has stopped flashing. So let's try the other way. Select accessory, 60, enter, and then 2. Signal moves. I've now got a green light. Excellent. And just pressing select accessory twice on the NCE cabs just toggles the last accessory. So there you go, we're alternating between red and green, and if you're watching the LED on the controller, you're seeing it's responding to signals. So that looks beautiful. Let's fit it to the layout. So this is where I want my signal to go, which will be controlling trains coming along this track heading in that direction. So in the direction trains go, giving permission to enter these points and the station block. So let's just make sure that the pole we're going to mark is in line with the centre of that block, so the base misses the track that way. And I also need to make sure that I've got enough room that way to fit in the track. So there's the centre of my hole. Instructions say drill a 14mm hole, clear the base. I don't have a 14mm drill bit, so 13mm flat drill bit. Before you do that, just have a check underneath to make sure you're not drilling into anything. Right, everything is fine under there. Okay, so I've taken the nut off my motor, pass through the wires, there we go. Look at that, perfect fit. Okay, so let's upend the board and see what's going on underneath. Right, so we're now underneath the mill, and this is the base of the signals coming through. So let's put the nut back on, and screw that up. I'm only going to do it finger tight because I don't think it needs any more than that. Front, make sure everything is still, yeah, nothing is moved. Okay, so here's our signal controller. I've already hooked the DCC up to a feed off the main DCC bus. So let's feed the wires around the back and reconnect them how they were. Who's nicked me screwdriver? So, first we had the yellow signal wires for this signal. Fine wires are so fiddly. Okay, now at this point I've already mounted another signal up at the other end, which I had to extend the wires for. So this is for signal 2. And these are the power wires for the second signal. So they're in there. Put that on there. Okay, quick visual inspection to make sure that everything looks tight and no shorts. Everything is absolutely fine. So let's take our controller. This is a power cab, so when I unplug it, all the power dies. So let's plug the power back on. Wait for a minute or 3 while it thinks about it. Here we go, we have power on the controller. So select accessory 60, enter one way. And it went one way. And it went the other. Now I haven't programmed the other controller yet, so press the learn button twice. Select accessory 6, 1, enter one way. Then we do select accessory. And it worked. I can hear the other one going. How fabulous is that? Okay, let's screw the controller board back up and tidy the wiring up. Right, board has been held up with just 2 screws up the back, not tighten them up too tight. The board has still got a little bit of wiggle room, only so it doesn't flex the PCB. And I've just gently secured the wires with a little bit of a cable tie. So that is everything underneath the board finished. Let's have a look at what's on top now. So here we are, trains held at the station waiting for a clear to proceed. We've got a number of ways we can make that happen. We can use the select accessory control on our cab. We can use any sort of switch panel which generates NCE DCC commands, or in my case I've got JMRI running on a computer, so we can have buttons that you click which make the signal change. For instance, I can now release the hold on the station, but in another video I may be showing how you can program logic. So in this case, once the train has cleared this point and run into the next block, the signal should automatically go red. Finger of God needed. And again, this signal is under JMRI control, so at the moment it's giving a clear. As soon as the block on the far side of it is occupied, it should automatically change. There we go. Fabulous Dapol Semaphore signals under control of the TrainTech dedicated Dapol Semaphore controller. Hooked through JMRI, and I'm really pleased. Thank you very much.